Hey everyone, this is a review on the Yo-Yo Factory Loop 900's. I actually did a different review. I had an older review that I was going to post, but I decided to make this one a little bit shorter. Anyway, I got the blue Loop 900 standard edition. This is like their first release to the public. They did hand some pre-releases out at competitions and stuff like that, blank labels and other things like that. Now they have like the Shackler editions and the neon collection editions, which are pretty neat, but I got these on the first night they came out. Like I said, I got blue. One thing I want to mention is that I'm absolutely horrible at looping. The only thing I could do was just your regular throwing out forward pass with my right hand and left hand, and I couldn't really get it in sync, and I kind of gave up. But it's very, very tough. But I will still give a review because there is a few neat things about this throw in particular. First off, I'm going to read off the stats. The diameter is 58.44 millimeters or 1.96 inches. The width is 34.50 millimeters or 1.57 inches. The gap width adjusts, so it's between 1.71 and 2.71 millimeters, so a whole millimeter in difference. The response system is starburst response, like most modern looping yo-yos. The weight is 52.7 grams, and the bearing size is 4 millimeters by 8 millimeters by 3 millimeters, so a very, very small bearing. I don't quite know if it's smaller. I'm pretty sure it's smaller than the Mighty Flea. I don't quite know though, don't quote me on that. Or it's very similar in size. I think the Mighty Flea, I don't quite know. My brother has one, I could go look, but it's small. It's smaller than anything else you'd have in mind. So there it is. I don't know if you can see that. I'll zoom in a little bit. So there's that bearing right there. There's my fingernail. So pretty small. Anyway, they also have these white pieces in here. These fall out. These surround the bearing, and I think they're meant for how the gap works, the gap system. I'll go into that too. And then the axle also goes with the gap system, the adjustable gap system. It is smooth in the middle, and there's just a little area of where the threading is actually where it connects to the yo-yo. So the neatest thing about the yo-yo is how it adjusts. All yo-yos out there, at least to my knowledge, are the adjustable gap is basically you unscrew it, and so the yo-yo is not completely tight. That's how you change it. When you unscrew it, it comes out farther apart. With this yo-yo, there's actually a little hole, and you take a key that they provide, and you first screw it as tight as it can go, and then you stick the key in. It's a hex wrench, and you twist. So if I twist this way, the gap closes, and I twist the other way, the gap opens up to the 2.71 compared to the 1.71. So you can have it at any width you want between those two measurements, and the yo-yo halves will be as tight, as any other yo-yo would be. The good thing about that is that during the middle of a trick, you're not going to have a yo-yo half fly off your yo-yo and the other half's going to fall off your string. Like the Dark Magic from Yo-Yo Jam, the original one, they had adjustable gap, and when I'd play with it, it was kind of responsive, so I'd want to adjust it as wide as I could go, and I had times where that half would just fly off and the other half would fall off the string, and yeah, it wasn't a good time. So very, very neat characteristic of this yo-yo. That's why I basically did the review. But one thing about that is that you can do more advanced tricks. You can be faster, you can throw harder. With the adjustable gap, you can do tricks that one hand you're looping, the other one it's actually sleeping, and you're doing like Rock the Baby or some other trick like that, and you can do a trapeze while you're still looping, and do a bunch of different tricks and trick combos. So these yo-yos are actually two-way, and you could do 1A with them, but the 1A tricks not very advanced. This yo-yo will jump up on you. like trapeze, rock the baby, maybe like the tower, I don't know, the Paris Tower or whatever it is, Eiffel Tower, there we go, excuse me. But so not quite advanced tricks with 1A, but like I said, 2A mostly, that's what they're made for. And you can do these throws, I'd have to say, are for the more advanced looping yo-yoers. So if you're more advanced and you want a new looping set, I'd recommend this. They're very nice. Lower, beginners like me, it will be tougher. It is actually easier to use like a Duncan Pro Yo, in my personal opinion, to start looping. So I got these anyway just to have in my collection. And I mean, they work nice. For looping, I kind of do medium for the gap width, so it'd be around like 2 millimeters and 2.30 millimeters, and I'd go with that. As far as string, I'd recommend a cotton string or a cotton polyester mix. The reason for that is that you want a good responsive string, because you can change the response of the yo-yo. Unlike other yo-yos where you have them tight, you have to get a thinner string for less responsive or a thicker string for more responsive. But for this, just any type of cotton, nothing too ridiculous, but or a polyester cotton mix. All polyester, wouldn't recommend it. You could probably pull it off, but I know you could pull it off, but wouldn't recommend it. I think they play better with the cotton, even though the cottons wear down faster. For nylon, don't do nylon. Nylon will actually melt when you throw the throw really hard in looping. It'll actually melt since the gap is so tight. The heat will melt the string, and it'll either ruin your bearing, ruin your yo-yo, or the yo-yo will just simply fly off. And you don't want that when you're in your house with a bunch of breakables around. Other than that, it's a great yo-yo. I'd recommend it for anybody, more towards the more advanced loopers, but other than that, it is a pretty neat yo-yo. Yo-Yo Factory, I'm pretty sure they actually patented this adjustable gap system because it is so unique. I don't quite know how they do it, but it is a pretty neat system. I actually, these Loop 900s are pretty nice. I actually sent them back because it looked like there's flaws inside and it's actually glue. So I sent them back to Yo-Yo Expert, and they actually picked the best halves they could find and matched them up for me. So these yo-yos are pretty flawless, except for the factory mark there that comes with all plastic yo-yos. But inside there's really no glue, and they actually lube the bearings for me, which are really nice. And another note to that is that the bearings, you're going to want to use thick lube rather than thin lube, so you have a good responsive throw. But other than that, great loopers. I recommend them for more advanced players, but for beginners, they work too. They are 20 bucks each, so you know that you have to keep that in mind as well. You can get cheaper looping yo-yos, but other than that, great throws, good throws to have in collection. They're fun. You got to get good, but they're pretty fun throws. So that's about it, and I'll see you next time.